I'm Corbitt with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, November the 6th, brought to you in part by Specialty Risk Insurance. They're the ones right there on I-44, right across the highway from Joplin Regional Stockyards. They can help you with all of your insurance needs in and around the farm or ranch or feedlot or sale barn or any type of agribusiness. And once you start doing business with them, you're going to want to give them the rest of your insurance needs too. That they can absolutely help you if you need commercial insurance, workman's comp, crop or livestock insurance, LRPs, PRFs, everything. And I know several guys that have sale barns that have turned everything from their sale barn insurance needs, I mean from one end all the way to the other. In the office, out back, the structure, everything. They've turned it all over to Specialty Risk. For more information, go to specialtyrisk.com. What are we afraid of? This board is just getting absolutely ridiculous, and people are getting, well, they've hated it for a long time, and they hate the CME cattle futures. I mean, it's so frustrating, guys. They get up and around in the morning, get their coffee, and then they know the board's open, but they're just nervous to look at it because they're not sure whether it's going to be up or down the limit. Pretty much going to be one of those two, it seems like here of late. And, and I knew there was going to be a time when we went to these huge limits here that it was going to be too much for the industry. It's just going to absolutely take their head off. And I mean, I know we have big trends in our auction markets now, but for the most part lately, for the last couple of weeks, they've just been 20 or 30 lower, or maybe 20 bucks higher and then back $30 lower. It's just ridiculous, and we are so tired of it here. But what are we afraid of? Nothing's happened in the nuts and bolts of the cattle business. Nothing has happened. They've talked a little bit about opening the border to cattle coming from Mexico up here, but the screwworm deal is keeping them back. The Secretary of Ag has not said yet when or if she's going to open the border. Most of us expect her to open it, maybe right after the first of the year. She hasn't even said that yet. The problem is she's been down there for the whole week. I think she didn't know a bit of Spanish when she went down there, and I think she's pretty well bilingual now. I don't know what they're having so many meetings about. Of course, they got Texas cattle feeders down there. They're pushing the issue too. But what's so scary? Even if we think they're going to open them, put them in there, worm the hell out of them, put your hands all over them, check them out, bring them in if you've absolutely got to. And, they come out with a statement earlier this week that they've got 250,000 head waiting to come across. And it's going to take a long time if they do open it and when they open it to get 250,000 head across as scrutinizing as those inspectors are going to be. It'll take a long time. What's 250,000 head? We kill 350,000 head in the United States every single day. And everybody is so scared to bring 250,000 in. It's getting old. This sensitive cattle futures is just absolutely getting old. And whatever way, your traders or your funds or maybe even your packers or your producers, whatever, any way that they start trading one way, then those computerized algorithms, and they're not the ones out in the field, they're all right there in Chicago, because even as fast as Wi-Fi or hardwire internet is, it's just that much better to be so close. So that's how sensitive that thing is. Once they detect trades working one way, they just domino the thing and roll it all the way to the limit. And it doesn't seem fair to people that are out here got calves to sell that they've been working all year, taking care of their mothers, getting them bred, keeping them healthy all through that, having the calves, making sure they were all right, getting them grown, getting them weaned in some cases. A lot of these guys just get one check a year whenever they sell their calves. And here they are, got all these artificial things and really artificial players in it that are just ruining their year for them. These guys have been excited about selling these calves, and just in the last 2 days, they take nearly $20 away from them. Or if they're selling in a cash market, it could be $30 or $40 or $50. It doesn't seem fair, guys. And Trump, I guess, I don't think Trump's still worrying about the beef. He's had several deals, since then, big deals out in China and South Korea and doing deals with these big countries. And he's worrying about the Supreme Court taking the tariffs away from him, which is what he's using to get all these deals done. He's worried about the Democrats electing a socialist or communist to be the mayor of New York City. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate. Probably not thinking a whole lot now about his statements about getting beef cheaper. So that's fine. Okay, stay the hell out of it. But what we really need is to kind of get this cattle market stable, get some feed under it, and maybe it would make producers feel confident enough to keep heifers, and it'd be a couple years before they get anything out of them. You can't expect producers to be thinking about building up herd, taking on more risk when they're whipsawing this board back and forth, and your cash trends and your sale barns are tens of dollars one way and then another. It's completely ridiculous. I want to tell you about a sale if you're interested in getting some replacement stock. Callaway Livestock Center, right there in the central part of Missouri, right on I-70, Kingdom City, Missouri. Callaway Livestock Center is having a big special this month for their Thursday night special replacement sale. It's going to be here tonight, and it is going to be something special. At 5 o'clock, they're going to be starting earlier than usual. At 5 o'clock p.m., they're going to be selling 35 head of Leachman bulls. And then at 6 o'clock, they will go on with their special like they normally do. They've got a fairly small offering of replacement bulls if you're looking for one there, and then a really, really nice offering of bred cows, bred heifers, pairs. They've got 150 head of first calf heifers there, due to calve between February 15th and March the 1st. They've got 150 young, fancy black cow-calf pairs there. They'll be really nice. They've got over 200 head of fancy black young bred cows that would be good for about anybody. Get to Callaway Livestock Center or get on to DVAuction.com. Call them a little early if you're not already approved to bid. Get on that sale. Watch them tonight starting at 5 o'clock Central there, guys. Also, want to remind you about Valley Grande Ranch Feeders up there in Lodgepole, South Dakota. That's Archibald Brothers. They've still got their dad there. There's 3 of those brothers that work there hard every day. They've got 10 full-time employees. They keep about 5 seasonal employees when they need them. They've got 1,800 cow-calf pairs of their own, and they've already brought those calves in, straightened them up, got them weaned, and got them gaining weight. They want to do that to your balling calves. Send them to them. Tell you what, they can straighten them out so much easier than you. You won't have to fool with it. If you don't have the facilities, the time, or the want to, let them do it. They've got first-class facilities. They can take those balling calves, get them weaned out, get them to gain in weight, keep them as long as you want them to keep them. If you want to keep them through, have them keep them through winter, that's fine. You want to take them back, they can take them all the way to finish if you want to do that. They can keep them up to the point that maybe you want to send them to Iowa or somewhere to finish them out. You can do that. If you want to get some thin cows and add value and weight to them by taking them to Valley Grande Ranch feeders there, that would be a good deal. It's really a first-class outfit, guys. I recommend them. For more information, go to archbro.com. Let's talk about your board on Wednesday. December live cattle futures down 7 1/4 at 220.52. Your February live cattle futures down 7 1/4. That's the limit for live cattle. They were all down the limit till we got to the very end, and then there was a couple that were only down 7.20 instead of 7.25. But February's down 7 1/4 at 218.12. It was worse than any of those days last week that we were having all that drama with Trump and everything. Your back months, like I said, down 7.20 on a couple of the furthest out months, to down 7.25 on all the rest. It's a complete wreck. November feeder cattle down the 9 1/4 limit. All your traded feeder cattle contracts were down the 9 1/4 limit, locked down, and tons of sell orders at the limit down. So it's not looking good, at least on the open on Thursday here. But November contracts down 9 1/4 at 325.72. January down 9 1/4 at 319.97. All the rest of the traded months of feeder cattle futures were locked down the limit also. It's a bad deal, guys. December corn up 3 3/4 cents a bushel at 435 1/4. January beans up 12 3/4 cents at 1134 1/4. Hard red winter wheat for December up 3.5 cents a bushel at 540. Your fat cattle trade indeed started on Wednesday because you have basis jumpers. You know, whenever the board's down the limit, you're having a little bit of trouble getting a market established. Well, if you can sell cattle at 230, you've got a $10 basis against December live cattle futures, which are at 220 and change. That's just like selling your cattle at 240 if you're hedged up. You haven't been able to get that here for a few weeks. So yeah, they're going to jump. We had basis jumpers all over the country. Iowa sold 13,200 from 225 to 230. That was $2 to $3 lower. Dress sales 355 to 365. That was $3 to $5 lower. Nebraska sold 18,000 from 227 to 230.50. Dress sales there 355 to 360. Kansas sold 900 confirmed, probably more than that by the time they get them all rounded up. The one price in Kansas was 232 live. That was $3 to $5 lower, and 360 dressed. Texas sold 3,300 confirmed on Wednesday at 232. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota had a brick and mortar fed cattle auction. They had 1,100 head of slaughter cattle for the auction on Wednesday. Fed steers and heifers sold $8 to $9 lower than last week. Conventional fed cattle sell from 221 to 225.50, and the program cattle from 223 to 227. Beef dairy cross steers bring 224.75 to 227. Glacial Lakes Livestock in Watertown, South Dakota had their fed cattle auction on Wednesday. 900 head of slaughter cattle. The fed steers and heifers sell $5 to $10 lower. Conventional fed steers and heifers bring 219 to 223. Those going back to feed bring 235 to 248. Those guys are seeing an opportunity there. Program cattle, non-implanted or drug-free, sell from 224 to 226, and big fat fed cows from 174 to 181. Box beef cutout values were mixed again, and we're going to see a rally here before long because your retailers and food service are getting ready to start buying for your holiday season. They want those biggest, best cuts. It's going to make our box beef cutout values improve in price, and I hope that doesn't confuse any politicians But box beef cutout values, choice cuts were up 68 cents at 378.26 on Wednesday afternoon. Selects were down $1 at 360.25. Slaughter up through Wednesday, 344,000 estimated cattle slaughter. That's 1,000 more than this point last week, 27,000 less than this point the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Superior Steel Sales right there in Carthage, Missouri, sits on I-44 right next to Joplin Regional Stockyards. They do a lot of work in the stockyards there with the corrals there. These guys raise cattle. They're cattle producers for a living. They know what's handy. They know what works. That's where you get your Superior Standard line of livestock handling equipment. It's heavy duty. It's efficient. It's very handy. Guys, and if you don't want to get that stuff, they've got the coolest products out there. You got to go online and look at their loading chutes, at their tubs, at their freestanding panels, their gates, everything. I mean, it can save you so much time if you're looking to build some corrals, or if you just want raw pipe and steel to build your own corrals, they can take care of that. They do have dealers all over the country. You see on this map, there's dealers, and find one that's near you. If you're in the business of selling equipment like that and you don't see a spot near you on there, get a hold of them at Superior Steel Sales and see about being a dealer. For more information, go to superiorsteelsales.com. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance, working to protect your livelihood. Your real-time index by DVAuction there, that's a 7-day moving average based on an 800-pound cash auction steer. After your sales on Wednesday was sitting at 345.48, down 412. We've taken more hits on that lately, guys. And your steer tracker, which is the last 25 lots of 5 head or more that go in the index, was all the way down to 336.36. So it's still going to be falling, guys. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index is running behind at 349.42. Some big sales coming up here the rest of the week. You've got a special cow sale tonight also in Joplin. It starts at 4:30. It's on DVAuction. You got the Memory Ranch sale, black and red Angus bulls out there in Nevada. It's on Thursday here. Nevada Livestock Marketing in Fallon, Nevada. Our friend Jack Payne is having a special feeder cattle auction on Friday. Not one of his bigger specials, but he has got some really impressive consignments there. It'll be on DVAuction. And then on Saturday, Modoc Auction Yards in Alturas, California. That's extreme northern California, cowboy country, guys. 11 o'clock in the morning, California time. They've got a special feeder cattle auction there. Michael Imbrogno sells that sale. He's got some help coming in for this special, but I tell you what, that's a good place to check it out. You at least got to get on there and watch, guys, and you may want to get registered so you can bid there at dvauction.com. Let's talk about your big sales on Wednesday. OKC West El Reno Livestock Market in Oklahoma had 4,600 for their 2-day sale. The feeders on Wednesday, those feeder steers weighing over 8.5 were actually 5 to 10 higher than last week. So that was good. The feeder steers weighing under 8.5 were $12 to $20 lower. Ouch. Feeder heifers were $8 to $10 lower, and those stocker heifers, lighter yearling heifers, were as much as $30 lower, but they've been selling really well here of late. Calves on Tuesday sold $20 to $30 lower. I mean, it's just ridiculous how volatile these markets are. Another big sale, Torrington Livestock Market had their Wednesday special there, 3,200 head. We are going to be adding Torrington Livestock Markets on DVAuction this week. The boys went out there to get them hooked up. I don't know if they'll be working on Friday, but I suspect they will be. I'll tell you about it. But they didn't have very many yearlings at this calf special, so they weren't well tested. Calves under 500 pounds were steady to $5 lower than last week. Those calves weighing over 500 pounds were $8 to $20 lower. Torrington was your Superior Steel Sales, home of Superior Standard Livestock Equipment stick-out sale of the day. And you look at these best tested weights, and it's all the calves there. To check them out, you can follow along with me there. 299 head of 4-weight steer calves in Torrington, average 443 at 521.49. 798 head of the 5-weight steer calves, average 546 at 433.29. 280 head of the 6-weight steers, average 636 at $375 smooth. Look at the heifers. They had 274 head of the 4-weight heifers. They averaged 443 at 446.88, and 232 head of the 5-weight heifer calves averaged 554 at 378.39. The most impressive individual quote that happened at Torrington Livestock Markets on Wednesday was 50 head of steer calves weighed 417 at 554. Not too many $6 calves out there running around middle of this week, guys. Give you some individual quotes from all around the circuit. How about our friend Russell Sleep there? He had his grand opening at Central Plains Stockyards in Humiston, Iowa. Got along real well. Sold 63 steers, weighed 923 at 327.35. That's a top price, guys. If you hadn't been paying attention, it is now. How about Hub City Livestock Auction in Aberdeen, South Dakota? 50 head of 687-pound steers bring $388.50. That's a top quote. How about Decorah Sales Commission in Decorah, Iowa? That's way up in the north part there. 63 head of 1,018-pound steers bring $335.50. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Wednesday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Green City Livestock Marketing in Green City, Missouri. That's north central Missouri, up in the Green Hills. When my friend Tracy Thompson, the market reporter there, sent this to me, I wasn't overly impressed. But towards the end of the afternoon, when I got to looking at all the other markets, I thought, gosh, that is pretty impressive. It was 63 steers in Green City that weighed 847 and bring 345. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.